Welcome to another film breakdown. Today we have Boston College edge rusher Donovan Ezra- E- Ezeiruaku. Ezeiruaku. Let me see if I can find a way to pronounce it. All right, no, I cannot find a way to pronounce it. We're gonna go with Ezeiruaku. Couple things about Donovan. He's very similar in stature to a guy that I just watched a few minutes ago in Kyle Kennard. He's 6 foot 2.5, 248. Is that what he is? 248? That's what he's listed at the combine. Yeah, 248, 34-inch arms, 9.25-inch hands. Pretty identical to Kyle Kennard. He had a great combine. Actually, he didn't run the 40, but his according to Next Gen Stats, his production score ranked second amongst edge rushers. His athleticism score ranked fifth, and his total score was second. He had a 35.5-inch vertical jump. He had a 9 foot 11-inch broad jump, a 6.94 second three cone drill, 4.19 second 20-yard shuttle, and a 22 reps on the bench press. So a very solid combine. And actually, I would say he was one of the winners of the combine. A little lowdown on Donovan Ezeiruaku. He, again, just like Kennard, really has optimal length to use off the edge. And, while he may be not the thickest edge rusher, he has speed because he's a little bit thinner, and he uses it very well. Just like Kyle Kennard, extremely active hands, doesn't let the stronger offensive tackles really get a good grip on him because he's always moving those hands, always, constantly keeping jabs away from him, deconstructing blocks, etc. Donovan also has a really explosive first step. He gets into the phone booth and really wants to initiate contact as quick as possible. And I think a lot of the times that prevents offensive tackles from being able to really set their foundation at all, and they're basically always playing catch up. All right, Ezeiruaku doesn't get home here, but look at him at the top of the line. Little swim move, splits him, and gets his hand on the quarterback. Just give him another second, and he's got a sack. Look at this. Gets out of his way, split him, almost gets home. Again, on the top of the line, uses his speed, takes advantage of what seems to be a miscommunication on the offensive line to force a throwaway, essentially, or a bad throw in general. Here we'll see him as a run defender, and he really does a good job at, shedding the blocker and bringing the running back down, basically all on his own. I won't say this is considered maintaining gap integrity. This is more so just going to make a play. All right, on the left side, we've got Ezeiruaku. He's going to try a spin move as a counter move, and he's just leaning too far forward, and it kind of causes him to fold himself up. Just leaning too far, gets off balance. Here we see Donovan with the sack. How's he get it? Speed off the edge. Uncombated speed off the edge. The offensive tackle never even got a good jab on him. He's already bent around by the time the offensive lineman makes any type of decent contact with him, and he's through. And he just gets on the shoulders of Brady Cook and brings him down. What's fun about Donovan is that he is everywhere. Like, he just finds his way to mix himself up into the play. How did he get over there? But what I will say is that Donovan Ezeiruaku gets everywhere on the field. He is always making some sort of impact. He's around the play at some capacity. That was almost an ACL tear. That was bad. He got faked. And he looked a little silly. Puts in notes, susceptible to double moves. This right here is a fantastic stop by Ezeiruaku. Oh my gosh, this fucking lag. But he brings down the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. That's what we need to know. Right there. Gets him down. Now, he had help with the running back losing balance, but he wouldn't have lost balance if Donovan wasn't right there. Ezeiruaku helps bring down a very mobile quarterback here. This is against Virginia Tech. And it was basically RPO centric, very military academy esque. Uh, Ezeiruaku is right there to get in on the sack. Ezeiruaku is always creating some type of pressure. He's always finding a way to get involved. You know, getting a hand in that quarterback's face could have very well been the difference between that pass being complete and incomplete. All right, he doesn't get home here, but top of the line, he's just so bendy, so athletic, very light on his feet, able to get around in a variety of ways. And quarterback gets the ball off, but can't make a play. Donovan pressures the quarterback here, and he contains a very, like I said, very mobile quarterback, just gets up in his grill, forces a bad throw, and that leads to an interception. That interception is because of Donovan Ezeiruaku. And right here, you're going to see Donovan force a fumble off the edge, zooms in, right there. You see 6, and you see him punch that football out. That's a peanut punch. That is a fumble. That was not caused by the ground. That was a fumble. Ezeiruaku does a good job on outside contain and just reels in the running back there to keep him at the line of scrimmage. Long arms create for an easier ability to tackle in the open field. And that's what Donovan does here. Off the edge. Very impressive, might I add. I like Donovan Ezeiruaku. I think Kennard is maybe a step above him, but Donovan has a bit more explosive athleticism to him. I would like to see more production, and I think he could benefit from a little bit of a gain in weight. Not a ton, not even 10 pounds. Just what we saw Kennard do for the combine. Get up to 255 because he doesn't win with power. That is not what he's going to do. He wins with finesse, and he wins a lot. So if going up to 255 means he can't win that way, then just stay at 248. But I would like to see him go to 255, see what he can do. Um, I think he has the potential to be a special player. I have a round 3 grade on him, but I think he has the potential to be special. And I think he will be a valued asset in a defensive line rotation. And I think give him a year or two, and he could very well be one of the 2 defensive end starters. So I appreciate you guys very much. If you liked the video, if you could do me a huge favor, it would be really appreciated. Either like or subscribe. I promise I would really appreciate it. And maybe I'll Venmo you $5. Um, if you have any questions about Donovan Ezeiruaku or want to tell me I'm mispronouncing his name and want to give the correct pronunciation, that would be awesome. Other than that, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.